Welcome to AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner question. I am your host John Menz from Certificate Hub Academy. Question 1. What you create an S3 bucket? What rules must be followed regarding the bucket name? Select all that apply. Choose the 2 correct answers. Option A. Bucket names must be unique across all of AWS. B. Bucket names must be between 3-63 characters in length. C. Bucket names must contain at least 1 uppercase letter. D. Bucket names can be formatted as IP addresses. Right answer is A. Bucket names must be unique across all of AWS. B. Bucket names must be between 3-63 characters in length. Explanation. Although certain regions do allow for uppercase letters in the bucket name, uppercase letters are not required. Also, a bucket name cannot be formatted as an IP address. Question 2. How much data can you store in S3? Option A. Storage capacity is virtually unlimited. B. You can store up to 1 petabyte of data. C. Each account is given 50 gigabytes of storage capacity and no more can be used. D. You can store up to 1 petabyte of data. Then you are required to pay an additional fee. Right answer is A. Storage capacity is virtually unlimited. Explanation. Although there is theoretically a capacity limit, as an S3 user, there is no limit on the amount of data you can store in S3. Question 3. What TWO services/features are required to have highly available and fault-tolerant architecture in AWS? Option A. Elastic Load Balancer. B. CloudFront. C. Elasticache. D. Auto-scaling. Right answer is A. Elastic Load Balancer. D. Auto-scaling. Question 4. The concept of elasticity is most closely associated with which of the following? Option A. Auto-scaling. B. Network security. C. Serverless computing. D. Elastic load balancing. Right answer is A. Auto-scaling. Explanation. Elasticity is the concept that a system can easily and cost-effectively both increase in capacity based on demand and also shrink in capacity based on demand. Auto-scaling on AWS is specifically designed to automatically increase and decrease server capacity based on demand. Question 5. What are the benefits of DynamoDB? Select all that apply. Choose the 3 correct answers. Option A. Supports multiple known NoSQL database engines like MariaDB and Oracle NoSQL. B. Automatic scaling of throughput capacity. C. Single-digit millisecond latency. D. Supports both document and key-value store data model. Right answer is B. Automatic scaling of throughput capacity. C. Single-digit millisecond latency. D. Supports both document and key-value store data model. Explanation. DynamoDB does not use / support other NoSQL database engines. You only have access to use DynamoDB built-in engine. Question 6. What best describes what AWS is? Option A. AWS is an online retailer. B. AWS is the cloud. C. AWS is a cloud services provider. D. None of the above. Right answer is C. AWS is a cloud services provider. Question 7. What is one benefit and one drawback of buying a reserved EC2 instance? Select 2. Choose the 2 correct answers. Option A. You can terminate the instance at any time without any further pricing commitment. B. Reserved instances can be purchased as a significant discount over on-demand instances. C. You can potentially save a lot of money by placing a lower bid price. D. You are locked into either a 1 or 3-year pricing commitment. Answer B. Reserved instances can be purchased as a significant discount over on-demand instances. D. You are locked into either a 1 or 3-year pricing commitment. Explanation. Reserved instances require a 1 or 3-year purchase term, So you are committing to paying for that much compute capacity for that full time period. However, in exchange for the long-term commitment, you will receive a discount of up to 75% over using an on-demand instance for that same time period. Question 8. John is working with a large data set, and he needs to import it into a relational database service. What AWS service will meet his needs? Option A. RDS, B. Redshift, C. NoSQL, D. DynamoDB. Right answer is A. RDS. Explanation: RDS is AWS Relational Database Service. Question 9. Stephen is having issues tracking how much compute capacity his application is using. Ideally, he wants to track and have alarms for when CPU utilization goes over 70%. What should Stephen do to accomplish this? Option A. Configure a CloudWatch alarm with an alarm threshold set to trigger when CPU utilization is greater than 70%. B. Configure a CloudWatch alarm with an alarm threshold set to trigger when CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 70%. C. None of the above. Right answer is A. Configure a CloudWatch alarm with an alarm threshold set to trigger when CPU utilization is greater than 70%. Explanation: the answer is to configure a CloudWatch alarm with an alarm threshold set to trigger when CPU utilization is greater than 70%. This will display the alarm in alarm state when CPU utilization is greater than 70%. This question has been worded very specifically with the works goes above 70%. This disqualifies the answer that stated greater than or equal to 70%. The AWS exam will have very tricky questions like this. Question 10. What is the availability and durability rating of S3 standard storage class? Option A. 99.9999999% durability and 99.99% availability. B. 99.9999999% availability and 99.90% durability. C. 99.9999999% availability and 99.99% durability. D. 99.9999999% durability and 99.00% availability. Right answer is A. 99.9999999% durability and 99.99% availability. Explanation: S3 standard storage class has a rating of 99.9999999% durability, referred to as 11 nines, and 99.99% availability. Question 11. If you want to easily share a file with a friend, family, or coworker, what AWS solution should you use? Option A. Mail them a flash drive with the file on it. B. Create an EC2 instance and provide login credentials so others can access the file. C. Upload the object to S3 and share it via its object's S3 public object URL. D. None of the above. Right answer is C. Upload the object to S3 and share it via its object's S3 public object URL. Explanation: you can easily share objects uploaded into S3 by provided others with the object's URL. Question 12. If an object is stored in the standard S3 storage class and you want to move it to Glacier, what must you do in order to properly migrate it? Option A. Delete the object and reupload it, selecting Glacier as the storage class. B. Create a lifecycle policy that will migrate it after a minimum of 30 days. C. Change the storage class directly on the object. D. None of the above. Right answer is B. Create a lifecycle policy that will migrate it after a minimum of 30 days. Explanation: any object uploaded to S3 must first be placed into either the standard, reduced redundancy, or infrequent access storage class. Once in S3, the only way to move the object to Glacier is through a lifecycle policy. Question 13. If you have a set of frequently accessed files that are used on a daily basis, what S3 storage class should you store them in? Option A. Infrequent access, B. Reduced redundancy, C. Standard, D. Fast access. Right answer is C. Standard. Explanation. The standard storage class should be used for files that you access on a daily or very frequent basis. Question 14. Which of the following will affect price you pay for an EC2 instance? Select all that apply. Choose the 3 correct answers. Option A. Instance type, B. Selected storage class, C. How long you use the instance for, D. Amazon Machine Image, AMI. Right answer is A. Instance type, C. How long you use the instance for, D. Amazon Machine Image, AMI. Explanation. EC2 instance pricing varies depending on many variables. 1. The type of buying option. 2. Selected AMI. 3. Selected instance type. 4. Region. 5. Data in/out. 6. Storage capacity. Question 15. What acts as an address, like a mailing address, for a web server located on a network? Option A. DNS server, B. IP address, C. Common language domain name, D. None of the above. Right answer is B. IP address. Explanation. An IP address is a server's address on a network. It is how traffic/requests get routed to it, much like a piece of mail gets routed to your home. Question 16. What is the purpose of AWS Route 53 service? Select all that apply. Choose the 2 correct answers. Option A. Content caching, B. Database management, C. Domain registration, D. Domain name system, DNS, service. Right answer is C. Domain registration, D. Domain name system, DNS, service. Explanation. Route 53 is AWS domain and DNS management service. You can use it to register new domain names as well as manage DNS record sets. Question 17. What AWS service allows you to have your own private network in the AWS cloud? Option A. Virtual Private Network, VPN, B. Virtual Private Cloud, VPC, C. Virtual Cloud Network, VCN, D. None of the above. Right answer is B. Virtual Private Cloud, VPC. Explanation. A virtual private cloud, VPC, is a private subsection of AWS that is your own private network. You control what resources you place inside the VPC and the security features around it. Question 18. What AWS database is primarily used to analyze data using standard SQL formatting with compatibility for your existing business intelligence tools? Option A. Elasticache, B. DynamoDB, C. Redshift, D. RDS. Right answer is C. Redshift. Explanation. Redshift is a database offering that is fully managed and used for data warehousing and analytics, including compatibility with existing business intelligence tools. Question 19. What best describes the concept of fault tolerance? Option A. The ability for a system to withstand a certain amount of failure and still remain functional. B. The ability for a system to grow and shrink based on demand. C. The ability for a system to grow in size, capacity, and/or scope. D. The ability for a system be accessible when you attempt to access I. Right answer is A. The ability for a system to withstand a certain amount of failure and still remain functional. Explanation. Fault tolerance describes the concept of a system, in our case a web application, to have failure in some of its components and still remain accessible, highly available. Fault-tolerant web applications will have at least 2 web servers in case one fails. Question 20. What are the 4 primary benefits of using the cloud/AWS? Option A. Elasticity, scalability, easy access, limited storage. B. Fault tolerance, scalability, elasticity, and high availability. C. Unlimited storage, limited compute capacity, fault tolerance, and high availability. D. Fault tolerance, scalability, sometimes available, unlimited storage. Right answer is B. Fault tolerance, scalability, elasticity, and high availability. Explanation. Fault tolerance, scalability, elasticity, and high availability are the 4 primary benefits of AWS the Cloud. Question 1. What best describes a simplified definition of the cloud? Option A. All the computers in your local home network. B. A computer located somewhere else that you are utilizing in some capacity. C. An on-premises data center that your company owns. D. Your internet service provider. Right answer is B. A computer located somewhere else that you are utilizing in some capacity. Explanation. For the simplest definition of the cloud is a computer that is located somewhere else that you are utilizing in some capacity. AWS is a cloud services provider, as they provide access to computers they own, located at AWS data centers that you use for various purposes. Question 2. What is the relationship between AWS global infrastructure and the concept of high availability? Option A. AWS is centrally located in one location and is subject to widespread outages if something happens at that one location. B. AWS regions and availability zones allow for redundant architecture to be placed in isolated parts of the world. C. None of the above. Right answer is B. AWS regions and availability zones allow for redundant architecture to be placed in isolated parts of the world. Explanation. As an AWS user, you can create your application's infrastructure and duplicate it. By placing duplicate infrastructure in multiple regions, high availability is created because if one region fails, you have a backup in another region to use. Question 3. Karen is building a website that is expected to have a minimum of 1,000 users continually over the course of 24 hours. For 8 hours each day, traffic is expected to be at about 1,800 users. What EC2 buying options should she use to handle all the traffic and be most cost-effective? Option A. Karen should rely solely on spot instances since that will be the cheapest option. B. Karen should buy reserved instances with enough capacity to cover the baseline of 1,000 users, then rely on on-demand instances for the 8-hour period of increased traffic each day. Right answer is B. Karen should buy reserved instances with enough capacity to cover the baseline of 1,000 users, then rely on on-demand instances for the 8-hour period of increased traffic each day. Explanation. Reserved instances should use to handle the expected baseline traffic to the website. Reserved instances in 1/3-year term can be purchased as a significant discount over on-demand instances. Any varying traffic above the baseline should be handled with on-demand instance, since they can be added/removed at any time based on current demand. Spot instances should not be used in this scenario. Question 4. What are the TWO main security layers, firewalls, used inside a VPC? Choose the 2 correct answers. Option A. Net Protect. B. Network Access Control List. C. Security Group. D. Security Lists. Right answer is B. Network Access Control List. C. Security Group. Explanation. Network Access Control Lists (NACL) act as a firewall on the subnet level, and security groups act as a firewall on the instance level. Question 5. Children's All Saints Hospital has millions of old medical records that they must save for regulatory reasons. These records will most likely never be accessed again. What is the best and most cost-effective S3 storage option that will meet the hospital's needs? Option A. Standard. B. Infrequent access. C. Glacier. D. Reduced redundancy. Right answer is C. Glacier. Explanation. Glacier is specifically designed for long-term archival storage. It is extremely inexpensive and should only be used for items that you access very infrequently. Question 6. What AWS database service is used for data warehousing of petabytes of data? Option A. RDS, B. Elasticache, C. Redshift, D. DynamoDB. Right answer is C. Redshift. Explanation. Redshift is a fully managed data warehouse that is perfect for storing petabytes worth of data. Question 7. What is the name of AWS RDS SQL database engine? Option A. Lightsail, B. SNS, C. MySQL, D. Aurora. Right answer is D. Aurora. Explanation. AWS created their own custom SQL database engine, which is called Aurora. Question 8. What is AWS Relational Database Service? Option A. Redshift, B. DynamoDB, C. Elasticache, D. RDS. Right answer is D. RDS. Explanation. RDS offers SQL database options, otherwise known as relational databases. Question 9. If you want to have SMS or email notifications sent to various members of your department with status updates on resources in your AWS account, what service should you choose? Option A. SDS, B. RDS, C. Get SMS, D. SNS. Answer D. SNS. Explanation. Simple Notification Service, SNS, is what publishes messages to SMS and / or email endpoints. Question 10. Under what circumstances would you choose to use the AWS Service Cloud Trail? Option A. When you want to collect and view resource metrics. B. When you want to log what actions various IAM users are taking in your AWS account. C. When you want a serverless compute platform. D. When you want to send SMS notifications based on events that occur in your account. Right answer is B. When you want to log what actions various IAM users are taking in your AWS account. Explanation. CloudTrail is AWS logging service used to log actions taken by users in your AWS account. Question 11. Which AWS service uses a combination of publishers and subscribers? Option A. SNS, B. RDS, C. EC2, D. Lambda. Right answer is A. SNS. Explanation. In SNS, there are two types of clients, publishers and subscribers. Publishers send the message and subscribers receive the message. Question 12. What term best describes the AWS pricing model? Option A. Pay all upfront, B. Pay as you go, C. Pay all at end, D. None of the above. Right answer is B. Pay as you go. Explanation. AWS operates on a pay-as-you-go model. No upfront cost or termination fees. Question 13. What must you do before you do any penetration testing on your account? Option A. Penetration testing is now allowed. B. Contact AWS and let them know first. C. Nothing. You are free to do penetration testing whenever you like. D. None of the above. Right answer is B. Contact AWS and let them know first. Explanation. You must contact AWS before doing any penetration testing on your account. If you do not notify AWS first, they may shut down your account. Question 14. Which of the following are AWS support plans? Select all that apply. Choose the 3 correct answers. Option A. Enterprise, B. Expert, C. Basic, D. Business. Right answer is A. Enterprise, C. Basic, D. Business. Explanation. AWS has 4 support plan levels. Basic Developer Business Enterprise. Question 15. What is a main benefit of consolidated billing? Option: A. Faster response from AWS technical support. B. Gain a volume discount for usage across all your AWS accounts. C. Access to a higher support plan level. D. None of the above. Right answer is B. Gain a volume discount for usage across all your AWS accounts. Explanation: Consolidated billing allows you to view, manage, and pay bills for multiple AWS accounts in one user interface. Volume discounts can be earned by combining the usage from all accounts your own. Question 16. What best describes the difference between the TCO Calculator and the Cost Explorer? Option: A. The TCO Calculator helps you analyze current AWS usage charges. The Cost Explorer helps you estimate the cost savings of using AWS. B. The TCO Calculator helps you estimate the cost savings of using AWS. The Cost Explorer helps you analyze current AWS usage charges. C. The Cost Explorer is a price list for each AWS service. The TCO Calculator helps you calculate hourly EC2 usage cost. Right answer is B. The TCO Calculator helps you estimate the cost savings of using AWS. The Cost Explorer helps you analyze current AWS usage charges. Explanation: The TCO Calculator is a free tool provided by AWS that allows you to estimate the cost savings of using AWS VS using an on-premises data center. The Cost Explorer is a free tool that allows you to view charges of your cost, helps you analyze where you are spending money. Question 17. What categories fall under those analyzed by the AWS Trusted Advisor program? Select all that apply. Option: A. Fault tolerance. B. Scalability. C. Cost optimization. D. None of the above. Right answer is A. Fault tolerance. C. Cost optimization. Explanation: The AWS Trusted Advisor program will analyze your account with check in the following categories: cost optimization, performance, security, fault tolerance. Question 18. Under what circumstances would you choose to use the AWS Service Cloud Trail? Options: A. When you want to collect and view resource metrics. B. When you want to log what actions various IAM users are taking in your AWS account. C. When you want a serverless compute platform. D. When you want to send SMS notification based on events that occur in your account. Right answer is B. When you want to log what actions various IAM users are taking in your AWS account. Explanation: CloudTrail is AWS logging service used to log actions taken by users in your AWS account. Question 19. Which AWS service uses a combination of publishers and subscribers? Options: A. SNS, B. RDS, C. EC2, D. Lambda. Right answer is A. SNS. Explanation: In SNS, there are two types of clients: publishers and subscribers. Publishers send the message and subscribers receive the message. Question 20. If you want to learn about AWS architectural or security best practices, where will you find that type of information? Options: A. AWS Yellow Pages, B. AWS Console Info Section, C. AWS White Papers, D. AWS Service Documentation. Right answer is C. AWS White Papers. Explanation: White papers are a collection of technical documents that outlines many AWS relevant topics.